We all get times when we feel lost. We lose motivation and direction. Just be gentle with yourself, knowing that no one is always happy. No one is always positive.
That's why in this episode we share 5 steps to regaining control, so you begin to feel more focused and more motivated, and above all, free to move ahead with passion and power.
Hi, I'm James Davis.
And I'm Claire Davis.
We're the Midlife Mentors, here to lift the lid on how to achieve health and happiness.
The balanced, no-nonsense way.
Hello and welcome to another edition of the Midlife Mentors with me, James.
And me, Claire. How are you all? So I know a lot of people have had a lot of snow this past week in the UK.
They certainly have.
Been a bit jealous, to be honest.
It's looked lovely in some parts. I know it can be a massive inconvenience, well, probably not if you're locked down, because you're not going anywhere anyway. But I know some of our clients have been sending pictures of feet of snow.
Yeah,
dogs
absolutely.
buried in it.
I know. Well, we've had kind of weird weather
strange
here.
things drawn in it.
Strange things drawn in the snow. I think you can use your imagination. But we've had crazy weather here in Marbella. It hasn't been what we ordered, basically. When you move to Marbella, you expect sunshine, and we have not had that. We've had quite windy, wet weather, haven't we?
It's been very, very windy, very horrible. Anyway, today we are talking about how to get back on track when you're feeling lost. And yeah, we thought this might resonate because of obviously everything that's going on in the world at the moment. And something actually, I think this time of year lends itself a bit to it. We enter January with a big burst of enthusiasm. Spring's not quite here yet. Winter's not quite over. It's a bit of a funny time.
Yeah, I think I spoke to James about doing this topic because being completely open and vulnerable, which we always are with you, I've felt really, really off actually for about the last 7 to 10 days. And I felt like something wasn't right. I've had no energy physically, but also that's therefore affected me emotionally. I've just felt a bit meh and a bit lost, a little bit lacking in motivation, inspiration and direction. And I thought, well, how am I going to get myself out of this? And James has been on this journey with me in the last few weeks, but I was like, how am I going to get myself out of this? I know I've got a toolbox, a toolkit, so I'm actually going to do some of those things and see if it helps. And of course, it has helped. By the way, guys, if you can hear some scratching around in the background of this podcast, this is our dog Lola. Some of you might have met her on some of our online workouts and things. Lola is currently scraping her bowl around the floor, having just eaten. So if you can hear that, that's Lola. So yeah, I kind of thought, what are the things that have really helped me? And then we decided to discuss these and put them in 5 top tips. And we're going to go through them and share them with you. So if you are feeling lost, lacking direction, lacking motivation, I can guarantee these are really, really going to help you feel a bit more like yourself again.
Yeah, also, before we get into the tips, just don't feel that you're on your own with this. It is really natural to have these cycles of feeling up and then feeling down. And, we all get it. We all get moments where, we feel low, where we feel a bit lost or just overwhelmed sometimes. And sometimes that overwhelm can just translate into then procrastination and then loss. You can have so much kind of facing you don't quite know where to start and feel a bit lost about where to go. So it's okay. What's really important, though, like Claire said, is that you don't allow yourself to stay there for too long. So acknowledge it, but then find a way to move out of it.
Yeah, no one's happy all the time. Everyone has low moments. And I think, we always want to be really authentic with you and say, people might look at us and think, they're always up, they're always positive, they've got it all together. And actually, it's just not true. And sharing that it's not true is a really, really important message, especially with where we are in the world right now, with a high level of uncertainty. I think that's where my feeling a bit has come from, is a level of uncertainty. We're over in Marbella, we're supposed to be coming back to London, there's lots of travel restrictions that are being put in place at the moment. We don't actually know what the next 2 months looks like, let alone the next 3 or 6. And that level of uncertainty does kind of get to you sometimes. But this is why this is really important. These 5 tips are so, so important, because what we can do is focus on the things that we are in control of. There are so many things that we aren't in control of. Actually, these 5 tips are going to give you what you need to regain control of what you can control, basically.
Exactly.
So, number 1 of the 5 tips is find your reason why. Okay, we always say this, but this is incredibly important when you're feeling lost, without motivation, without inspiration. Understanding your reason why is essential.
Absolutely, and this is something that comes along, whether it's work, your personal life, workouts. Just a few weeks ago, I think Claire and I are both feeling this on the workout front. It's kind of felt like we're going through the motions a bit with it, like, oof, another day into the gym. And then lockdown happened, so we had to change up. And actually, that was quite refreshing. So sometimes it's just a question of pausing when you're feeling a bit run down or tired of whatever you're doing, the goal you're going for, and asking yourself, why is it I want this? Because it's fine for our goals to shift and change over time. And what we set as a goal 6 months ago may not be our goal now. If we stay rigidly stuck to that goal, even though everything has changed around us, that's when we can start to feel a bit lost and ungrounded. So regularly check in with your goals and make sure you are going on the right track. It's okay to change direction and change your course.
Yeah, I think with the whole why thing, it's really, really important to know that you have that emotional connection with why you even want to become unstuck and unlost. I think, our internal why means we don't need any external motivators. We don't need anyone else telling us why we should keep going. So, here are some questions for you. Ask yourself now, if you are feeling a lack of direction, why must I get back on track? Why is it important that I've got to get back on track? Who is this going to serve? Going deeper into this, why must I get healthy? Why must I be a positive role model? Why must I take the risk, for example, to start my own business? Why do I need to keep moving forward and not stay kept down for long? This why lights a fire under everything that you need to do, not necessarily what you want to do, but this reason why will light a fire under doing what it takes, whatever actions you need to take, whatever beliefs you need to change, and it will stop you quitting. Okay, you can slow down, like James said, we can slow down, absolutely, we can rest for a while, of course. And we're still going to get moments in our life where they knock us off course, like we have actually. Certainly for me, in the last 7 to 10 days, that's life. But with this strong why, this fire inside you, you won't stay down there for long because you know why you're doing it.
Exactly. It's so important to just reconnect with that and reignite your passion. You find when you actually do stop and think about it again and reconnect with that why, and sometimes rediscover it, then you suddenly become so much more passionate, engaged on following your goals and going for it.
Yeah, that's happened to me for sure. It's been a really, really nice feeling to be kind of that flame ignited again. And it's okay for it to die down a little bit. We just need to stoke the fire a bit. So number 2.
Number 2, understand that time is fleeting. Your life is short, and listen, time is a finite resource. You've only got this one precious life experience, and you need to deeply ground yourself in what's important to you in this life, because time passes whether you want to or not. I know, again, in lockdown it's difficult. We get a sense of the days drifting by and life being a little bit on hold, but that is a perception. Of course, time is still passing, and if you want to be a little bit morbid, ticking down. So actually reconnecting with what do you want to get from your time here in this life?
Yeah, I think a lot of the time we really sweat the small stuff, don't we? A lot of the stuff we stress and worry about won't really matter in the end. And again, we're sounding like that's a little bit morbid, but it really, really won't. We use our imaginations in the worst kind of way, always kind of avoiding discomfort and moving towards certainty. But, here's the thing. When the chips are down, the really, really deeply grounding way to get you feeling unlost and kind of floating along is to know that time is finite, that your life is short. So this will laser focus you in a way that you haven't necessarily been experiencing over the last few weeks, last month, last year. It will laser focus you on what you love, on what your passion is, what your purpose is, to know and really understand that time is going and that your life is beautifully, beautifully short. So get going. Just drop all the shoulds and shouldn'ts. Stop worrying about what might be and actually just think, what's my mission here? What do I want to leave the planet, having achieved?
And I think it's also natural. A lot of us naturally tell ourselves we haven't got time to do stuff. If you've got something and it feels like a bit of a stretch, an excuse that we'll hear all the time is that, I just don't have time in my day. But if you were to look at maybe how long you actually spent scrolling through social media, chatting on social media, even like watching TV shows or Netflix, you would suddenly find way more time in your day to devote to other things.
Yeah, completely. I think that these are all tips that I've actually gone through myself in the last few days. It's that kind of really, really understanding of, do you know what? I'm worrying about things, talking about the uncertainty. I'm worrying about stuff I can't do anything about. And actually I'm wasting precious time worrying about that when this is a gift. This life is a gift. So let's just get going and do the things I love without concerning myself too much about the future. I'm not saying be reckless. I'm saying don't worry yourself too much about what you can't control. Number 3 is know where you want to go and start to take small steps to get there. So this is kind of like a goal-orientated tip, right? But being in action will make you feel less lost. You can't really be in action and feel lost and not know where you're going. I know it's hard to get going in the first place where you're just feeling really, but actually just starting to take small steps towards building momentum, towards something that you want to achieve is massively, massively powerful.
I would say never underestimate the power of momentum. Often the hardest thing is getting started, and we can find so many ways to talk ourselves out of ways to get started. And then when we do start, it can feel like a real struggle to begin with, but the more you do it, the greater the momentum you get behind you, the easier and easier it becomes. And again, if you're feeling lost, it's hard to feel lost when you've got a real sense of momentum pushing you along. So exactly, knowing where you want to go and taking those consistent and persistent steps. Look, it's not about, like crossing massive items off your to-do list every day. It's just like some small steps done often will get you there in the end.
Yeah, and it will give you a sense of pride and a sense of purpose and a sense of direction, even small things. So I'll give you an example. I've created some goals for the next month, but then I've kind of put it down into the goals for the next week, and then I've put them down into daily goals because I was feeling a bit like, as I've said, lost, not really know where I am. So actually, today, for example, I've ticked off the things that I wanted to achieve today, and I'm feeling really positive and really proud of myself. So just those small celebratory little wins are really, really important. But just make sure that your goals are well defined and that they're specific. Again, you're going to feel super lost if they're not specific. So if you're just saying, I want to lose X% body fat, for example, by the end of the month, actually, what's that going to look like? Be specific. How are you going to get there? Create some really strong parameters around what you're going to do daily to get you to that end result, and obviously set a time limit to it.
Yeah, I mean, part of planning these goals is the planning, and we can't overemphasize enough, again, how important that is and how that can even make you feel like you're taking action. So on a Sunday, we said this before, we'll sit down and we will plan our week ahead on a day-by-day basis. Like, what are we doing? What are we aiming to achieve by doing that thing? And not only is that like setting your goals, it's also giving you a routine and structure for your days and your week as well, which helps.
Exactly. That stops you feeling lost, doesn't it? That structure and routine that has kind of gone out the window since COVID came along. So absolutely, that's another side of it. So number 4 is, one of our favourites, of course, is gratitude and giving. People out there, if you're feeling lost, give. Cannot say that enough. If you are feeling lost and you don't really have any direction, inspiration and motivation, just be in service to someone, to something. It doesn't matter what you're doing. It might be just picking up a phone to someone you haven't spoken to for ages. It might be speaking to that homeless person on the street, socially distanced, of course, but actually just being able to gives you a sense that you are part of life again, and that you being here really matters, because you really do.
Now, some of you might be saying, well, that sounds great, but what will I get from giving? Well, actually, here's the thing. You're not meant to get anything from giving, but there is lots of research that suggests you are getting a load. You will feel really good. It releases feel-good chemicals for you. It makes you feel valuable. It makes you feel part of life, and that you really matter, because you do matter. And also think about the times when people have done stuff for you and how good that felt to receive. And what we find is when we are open to giving more, we can also receive more, and more stuff happens. If we focus on that attitude of gratitude, it's amazing what we can bring into our lives.
Well, yeah, that's the next one really, is that gratitude piece. So the energy of giving actually allows us to receive in gratitude. So, there's no more powerful force than gratitude. As you know, we bang on about it all the time. We've even done a whole podcast around gratitude. When you're looking at the stuff that you are grateful for in your life, yet again, it's very, very difficult to feel so lost. Again, this is something I've really drilled down on in the last few days, is being grateful for what I have now, not what I don't have. And it's brought me more into the present moment. It's brought me more into my sense of self, into the truth of who I am. Being more grateful for what I have right now stops me worrying about the future as well, and that uncertainty and the everything else I've been feeling.
Yeah, it's a great exercise to run through. It is so easy, particularly at the moment, to focus on the negatives around you, like, I don't know if I could go on holiday this year, that'll be all, Actually, if you step back from that and just focus on what you have now, like, I've got a roof over my head, I've got a great family, I've got a dog, I've got delicious food when I want it, I'm not in scarcity, whatever, actually brings you into the present moment and will stop you focusing on the future and what may or may not happen, and what you do have now and can be grateful for.
Absolutely. So number 4 is really, really important. Give, because it gets you out of your head and gives you into a energetic space of giving and gratitude. And finally, number 5.
Of course, we're going to say move your body.
Move your body.
Yes. So science proves that moving your body reduces anxiety and depression. We release all those feel-good hormones and neurotransmitters. So next time you're feeling stuck or lost, whatever it is, get up and move. And listen, if you are the type of person that loves like a hard hit workout, Claire the other day, she was like, I'm going down to the beach. It was blowing a gale. She went down there. She powered through it. But it doesn't have to be that.
You did.
I'm very proud of you.
I really didn't. I really felt stuck in the mud. And I have not felt the motivation to do my workouts at all for the last week or so. And I just knew that I had to go and move my body in order to get the benefit of just some focus.
Exactly. So if your hip thing, go and smash a hip, but it could be a gentle jog, it could be a long walk, it could be some yoga, it could be like following some Tai Chi from YouTube or something. Just important thing is to get out of your mind and connect with your body. It will help release the tension, help you feel more connected to yourself. And of course, there's all the great health benefits of just getting up and moving the body more as well. So it will help you feel stronger and more resilient, and that's going to impact how you show up every day. And if you're getting up and moving and being vitalised and energised, that's also going to help you feel less lost.
Mind-body connection, strong body, strong mind, and vice versa. So those are your 5 tips for just stopping yourself feeling so lost right now. I know so many of you are. And I hope us saying, well, particularly me, that you're not alone, that no one is always positive and up. We all get moments where we're like, oh my goodness, I've lost my passion, my purpose, my direction, my motivation. These are honestly the things that I have done, and James has done as well, but I have done that I really, really wanted. I felt so passionate. See, there's my passion back. My passion and my inspiration was to share this now because it felt like exactly the right time to do it. So, we all get there. Be gentle with yourself. Take these small action steps, and gradually you will begin to feel aligned with yourself again, aligned with your power and your strength. So we'd love to know your thoughts on this. We are always, I know it sounds trite, but we mean it. We are always there for you. Please reach out to us on what email address?
Yeah, and we love hearing from you. You can email us at info@themidlifementors.com. Also, we have our free Facebook community, the Midlife Mentors community. If you just search for the Midlife Mentors community on Facebook, you will find it. Have hundreds of wonderful people in there, always inspiring each other, sharing great tips, content. We're in there all the time. And finally, if you're around this Saturday morning, 10 a.m. UK time, Claire is giving her peri-menopause and menopause workshop again. So she gave this earlier in the year, and people have raved about it. I'm so proud of you. So they raved about it. So, and people are asking, like, can you do it again? Do it again. So we are doing it again. We'll pop the link to register in the show notes, or just go to our Facebook pages, the Midlife Mentors, or find us on Instagram, and there's a link to register there. But we'd love to see you on Saturday morning.
I would really love to see you there. It was such a nice turnout. I was so grateful. But yeah, we'll be touching on what's really going on in your body with hormones. It's a really difficult time. There's lots of changes going on, and I will just be talking about what those hormones are, why you're feeling like the way you are, and some lifestyle modifications without making massive sacrifices, or going on any antidepressants or blah blah blah, all of that stuff. Those small lifestyle modifications you can make in your life right now that will start reaping huge benefits for you. James and I have been working with this age group for a really long time, and these changes reap massive rewards. So I'll also be looking at kind of like the mind body connection, stress management stuff as well. So mind, body and soul, and nutrition and things. So can't wait to share that with you.
It'll be fantastic.
Yay! Right, guys, you go on your way, and we are sending you so much love as always.
Yeah, see you at the weekend or next week.
Take care.
Bye.
Mwah.
Yeah.
You've been listening to the Midlife Mentors with Claire and James Davis.
We'd love to hear from you. So drop us a line at info@themidlifementors.com with any questions or topic suggestions.
And make sure you join us on our Facebook page and YouTube channel. You can find us under the Midlife Mentors.
Yeah.